Welcome. I don't know about you, but the energies right now, it's been intense. Intense times bring up so much stuff that's ready to be cleared. It's like the more the light comes in, the more that old stuff gets purged. And it can be uncomfortable for sure. No one wants to see all of that. Rather keep a lid on. It's like the can of worms, isn't it? Let's just keep a lid on it all. Let's keep it down. Don't want to look at it. To pretend it's not there. Can't do that anymore. It's not possible anymore. Got to get it all out. So take the lid off a little bit. My goodness, like woo! You realise it's not just your stuff in there, huh? All kinds of stuff in there. Bring the light in. The light starts to move it all. Bring it all up and out so as you can watch it. Observe, see what's going on. The trouble is, what can happen, you see, is as the light comes in, it starts to stir that pot in order to release the stuff that's stagnant and old, the stuff you no longer need, stuff you don't want. Starts to bring it all up and out, and as it comes up and out, you start to feel it. Of course you're going to feel it. Most of it is suppressed, buried feelings. How can you not feel it when it comes out? Okay? And as it comes out, sometimes, I'm not sure if this happens to you, you attach to it. You have an attachment now. You're not just watching it like a movie. Oh, that's some of that buried old stuff coming up and out now. Oh, that's buried old stuff of when I feel resentful, when people take up all my time or put too much pressure on me or whatever the dialogue is. And rather than just observe it for what it is, I suppose you can let it go. You're attached to it. Oh yes, that's right. He did this, she did that. And the stories start again. You weave a little story around it. I doubt you do this, do you? We're all doing it, okay? This is the pattern of it. We weave a little story around it. And then we've got a story and then we've attached and then it's holding us in a certain reality of distorted perspective. Okay, and then we attract more of it, see it everywhere, start having it compounded, confirmed. What if the point at the moment, if there was a point, there's never just one point at the moment, is there? Apart from coming home to the truth of who you are, to the very heart of you, that's the kind of point really. But in all of the myriad, and many, many things that we're working with currently, and there's so much. Be gentle with yourself because there is so much. The point is just to observe. The point is just to observe, not to attach, not to weave stories either old or new around those feelings, but to simply watch them release. Let them go. Let them go. It's not always easy to let go, especially when a lot of our identity, who we think we are, is wrapped up in those stories. It's not who you are. It's not the real you of you. It's a perceived you. Okay? A perceived self that's been created based on lots of conditioning, lots of stories and perceptions, beliefs and attitudes that have been passed down to you through the generations, telling you who you are, telling you what you should be frightened of, how you should behave, what makes you good, what makes you bad. How by doing this you'll be judged and not doing that you'll be judged. How you can't quite get it right and all the consequences and things that will happen to you if you get it wrong. Stories and layers and layers and layers. Stories, narratives, conditioning. Shaping, moulding, creating a you. A you that you're invested in. Because perhaps it's the only you really know right now. Maybe you get glimpses of the real you, but the power in the real you may seem a bit frightening, a bit overwhelming. And so it can be easier to kind of hide in the familiar, in the you that you know, because there's history there and it's comforting and it's reassuring. Even if it's not pleasant, you know it, so you know where you're at with it. And so this time of change is about changing from that real you into the true you of you, beyond the you that you can even imagine right now, beyond the restrictive narratives of what you've been conditioned to believe about yourself so far. Because as this awakening happens, and all the changes take place, it's going to just blow you away, the potential that you really have as a human being. Most people aren't even on the right page yet, or in the right chapter, maybe even the right book. Maybe some people aren't even in the right library, huh? The change is going to be so phenomenal, so all-encompassing, so huge, so beautiful. You won't even recognize yourself when you find yourself. And if you're already on the journey of finding yourself, then you know what I mean. We reveal bit by bit the layers of our potential self, held in the light of our true authenticity, awakened and present to all that is. And when we keep that next to who we are currently, or where we've come from in our story so far, it's hard to see how you can shift from the old to the new, from the distortion to the clarity, from the facade to the true reality. That consciously aware, highly evolved, beautiful being of authenticity, presence and power, who can impact the world, who can have an influence day by day in the words they speak, the way they present themselves, the way they allow their creativity to flow. So there can be a real difference. And as you let go more and more of who you're not, you come more and more into who you are, you start to recognize that there's a huge amount of conditioning that shaped you the way that you were, that tied you into obligations, tied you into certain ways of presenting yourself, certain limitations on what you're allowed to creatively express, or what you're allowed to articulate, even what you're allowed to think. And so as all of those layers are challenged, almost like held in the light of truth, it all starts to dissolve, all starts to fall away. And in there, this light emerges that's always been there, hidden under all those layers, like a treasure trove of gifts, a true celebration of you, who you really are, who you came here to be. But it's a journey. It's a journey of letting go. It's a journey of recognizing what you're not and journey of coming into being, into who you really are. And who wouldn't want to take that journey? Especially at this time of change. Who wouldn't want to show up on the planet and go, here I am. This is what I bring. Let me help out here. Who wouldn't want to do that? So there are many, many layers which get in the way of that. And that's what we're here to shed. To shed the layers. And find the power, the awakened presence, the true light of authenticity, right at the heart of you. That's where the magic is, right at the heart of you. The head's full of stories, the head's full of ideas. The head might bring you down sometimes with negative thinking, worries, doubts. These are all programs in the mind. We can talk about all this more. We can share so much with you about this. Show you ways to recognize how to move from one place to the other. And it is a process. Such an amazing process. And it's the process of now. If you're tuned into the energies, that's the energy of now. To look at it all face on, to see things clearly, and to make decisions about what you will and won't tolerate within yourself, first of all. Okay, forget about the external reality. Come home to you in truth. That's where the work really needs to go on. That's where the magic happens. It's all an inside job. When you start to change from the inside out, you have an amazing impact on the external reality that you create. Can't do it the other way around. It doesn't work. Okay, that's important to know that. That's what a lot of people expend a lot of energy doing. Okay? Bam, 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 bam. Trying to change everyone else. Trying to change everything else. Trying to impact the physical reality. If you want to make a big impact on physical reality, it's an inside job. And then you'll see the physical changes. It can take you on a journey through all of that and more. Okay? So lots to share. So much to share. And you've tuned in. So keep tuning in. Subscribe, like, write. Let us know what you want, what you need, what's going on. Okay? We're here for you. And stay blessed.